there's a little town called Lucian, once simple and serene, farming crops and tilling land, a picture so serene. Nestled in the heart of green under the wide blue sky, now it's known around the globe, and let me tell you why. Lucian, oh Lucian, where the future meets the past, bio creatures born from printers coming to life so fast. Once were fields of wheat and corn, now there's a new accord. Welcome to the place that's known as the Bio Creature Board. Bio printers humming day and night, crafting life anew, each creation a marvel, each invention a breakthrough. From the grains of simple farming to genetic masterpiece, Lucian stands a testament to progress that won't cease.
Welcome to Lucian, the bio-creature capital of the U.S. Before we got that hilarious title, we were a town built by generations of humble farmers. I've lived here my entire life and know just about everyone in the town on a personal level. We are a place of simplicity. Well, we were. That all changed with our first bioprinter. At this time, nobody had even heard of a bioprinter, except for the Lynches, the most filthy rich family in Lucian. They found gold on their land in the 1920s, so of course, they've got the largest house and the biggest plot of land. Anyway, all this was to say that they had enough dough and the connections to buy the bioprinter. The Lynches first got a bioprinter to genetically modify their crops, make new stuff for every season. It was a huge success. People from all over the area came to see our crops, but people get bored fast. And then the Lynches got a little wild with it. According to my buddy Jimbo, little Debbie Lynch wanted a new friend to play with. So she snuck into her dad's workshop and made herself something special. When her dad came downstairs and found her playing with the creature, he realized the potential. Mr. Lynch started making all kinds of creatures, useless blobs, questionable hybrids. People in town started to notice as some of his critters escaped. The town held a meeting after they found out what Mr. Lynch was up to. Mr. Lynch thought that he was going to be reprimanded. He came prepared to compromise and make significantly less creatures to make everyone happy, but to his surprise, the rest of the town was annoyed they weren't involved. We wanted in, badly. He explained to us that it's still way too expensive, but pretty soon it'll be cheap enough for everyone. Pretty soon was 3 months later. The next version of the bioprinter came out. This one was super cheap, came in a ton of different sizes, and of course, everyone got one. This was when things got really weird. You'd think some people would use it in a somewhat moral and responsible way, but nah, everyone just wanted to have a little fun and play God. Jim Susley made a creature that was meant to give him the perfect back massage. Everyone wanted one of those for a while. The fire department made some kind of a blob water fella that goes into burning buildings and pops himself. Derek is doing his own, the most dangerous game thing. He's made hundreds of weird critters just to see if he can hunt them down. I told him why not just make a ball and cover it in like turtle shell or something. He gets annoyed and says he could kill it easily. And of course, he keeps a trophy room of their heads. I always wonder what his wife thinks. On a more positive note, all this hullabaloo created a new tradition, Lucian. Every week, a creature show and tell is held at the public library. Everyone from your daughter to your grandfather can show off anything cool, cute, scary, or useful they made that week. It's great fun for the whole town. It does get uncomfortable a lot, though. The Campbells always make sure Nancy, their kid, is there to show off what she made. And every week, without fail, the kid makes something absolutely repulsive. We always tell her the creature is cute or beautiful, but I think Nancy knows what she's doing. Anyway, I digress. Yeah, you think Lucian is wild now? I haven't even got to the good part yet. Mother Nature probably didn't want the printers, but she definitely wouldn't want this. Around a year into the fun, the Lynch family built the aptly named Lynch Arena. Bill and Gwen always complained that they didn't build it big enough, but then I see them make a dog with a fish head and realize there's a reason why we don't listen to Bill and Gwen. So the Lynch Arena. This is Lucian's real claim to fame now. People from all over the Midwest come here to have their creations fight. It's completely insane, to be honest with you. I'd say 75% of the fighters don't make it. But it's important to understand people don't really get attached to their bio creatures because they know when it's killed, they can just make a new one Regardless, it's still fun to watch. I've seen the most impossible creatures come into that arena. Usually they don't live much longer than their fight. Especially the huge ones, sometimes they don't even make it to the fight at all. Get this, the guy who holds the title for most fights won would just make a 3,000-pound floating whale that would fall on its opponent. It was so good that the Lynch family had to change the rules. With that being said, I try to keep my own creations on a smaller scale. Recently, I made an army of little biological vacuums. Every few weeks, I let a new batch out and they clean my apartment right up. All the corners I could never get into, and then they throw themselves in the trash. Easy peasy. I like to think of myself as someone who makes tools rather than weapons. Like my alarm clock, it's alive. But to be honest, now that I think about it, I'm not sure why. I would never say this to my alarm clock's face, but I could have just got a normal one. Again, getting distracted from the point. All of that brings us to today. I think something bad is going to happen in Lucian. There's been a lot of interest in our little town recently. Mr. Lynch brought the biofights to TV and streaming, and it's been the #1 show since the first episode. Now that everyone knows about the biofights, everyone knows about Lucian, which is a shame. But I think it's far worse than that. I've started to notice a lot of government vehicles parked outside of Derek's compound in the Lynch's house. I have a feeling that something very sketchy is going on. I think Derek and Mr. Lynch have been hired to make a bioweapon. And hear me out. Out of nowhere, Mr. Lynch is the first guy to get a printer. Then the story is that his kid figured out you could make creatures? That makes no sense. I think Mr. Lynch was given the printer to test out what it could do. He accidentally went a little too crazy with it, and the rest of Lucian found out. Then he teamed up with Derek. I always thought that Derek was just a psychopath, but it turns out he's a psychopath on a mission. He and Mr. Lynch were trying to make the perfect bioweapon through rapid evolution. If the creature couldn't escape Derek, then it was time to make a new one. But I guess it wasn't working well enough or fast enough, so Lynch builds the arena. It's the perfect place to test out new creatures as death machines. And now the government is in town. Are they here to pick up an order? Are they here to let something loose? I don't know, but I know that I'm going to break into the Lynch compound and see what's really going on here.